The details for the 1400 metre Chinese New Year Cup. We've got Will Power. He's off the all-weather back onto the turf and back in trip from the 1650 to the 1400 metres. Buddies, he is a four-time course and distance winner. Winning Dreamer returns to Class 1 for Vincent Ho and Frankie Law. Master Montaro, he comes into Class 1 for the first time. Band of Brothers, first up for the season and has won first up in the past. And in form, Cheerful Days goes up in grade. He's won 4 of his last 5 over the 1650 at Happy Valley. And Wind and Grass has his second start for the Michael Chang stable. Time to have a look at the speed map now, Tom, and over to the touchscreen we go. There's a noted leader here in Buddies, but there's also Igniting drawn inside of him.
Yeah, so they'll set up, I think, a good speed to those two runners there. Igniting actually got a long way back last start, never really got involved at all there at Sha Tin over the 1200 metres, Paul. But we know Buddies likes to go forward and he's got a little bit of weight relief for a Thursday afternoon.
Yeah, look, he really wanted to lead last time Igniting, and he, over 1400 metres. You know, he was up against horses like My Sugar in there as well, and really they pushed him to the lead. Now, if he does miss the start, which he has been prone to do in the past, I think that'll really help California Deep Shot, because he might be able to get across if Buddies goes to the lead, and then California Deep Shot sort of takes Buddies' place. So that's a possibility in the race as well, I thought.
And Winning Dreamer, the unlucky horse there, out 3 wide if that does happen. The rider of Lucky Express is Zach Purton, who's had a few wins since returning from injury. Nick had a chat with Zach at Trackwork this morning, and apologies about Zach's beanie. It's a horrible Sydney Roosters one.
Zach, Lucky Express will line up in the feature race this Thursday, the Chinese New Year Cup, and he looks to be a horse with a great chance in the race.
Yeah, for sure. He's a little bit tricky to ride in the fact that, you know, he's not the cleanest out of the gates all the time, and he's just got that short sprint, so you've got to try and time your run as best you can. And I think this race sets up pretty well for him. He should get a nice run off the back of a little bit of pressure and just try and come when it matters.
Obviously, you didn't ride him last time, but he chased a good one in Healthy Happy, so a line of form coming through that Group 3 certainly would be strong enough for a race like this.
Yeah, he did what he can do. He loomed at the 200 and then didn't quite close it off, and that's the tough part to get right with him. But the form out of the race is quite solid, so he's just got to try and repeat that performance.
John has tried him over the mile. Obviously, 14 would clearly be his best trip. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think so. You know, 12 to 1400 metres I think is suitable for him. The problem with 12 is he's not the best out of the gates, and he can get a little bit far back, and he's coming home a little bit too late. In the 1400, he only just seems to run it out. So a 1300 metre race would be perfect, but there aren't any here.
No, there certainly aren't. And just on the event as a whole, obviously you more than anybody, having been here for a while, would understand the importance of owners having winners on this day. It's a huge day for them, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. It's a day that they all look forward to. They all want their horses to run, and it's a nice start of the new year if you can get off with a winner. So let's hope that that's the case, and then things can flow on through to the end of the season.
Hopefully he rides a few winners and can buy himself a new beanie as well. We move on to the next replay here, Tom. And this is Will Power. Now, this was a ride from Blake Shin. He just sat back and let it all unfold. California Deep Shot's going well too.
Yeah, and he's been back to the trials, California Deep Shot, and he trialled quite well. Winning that at Happy Valley, he was up on the speed, and I thought he went to the line under a good hold. So I think he's one of the main chargers in the race. We've seen Will Power run okay on the turf at Happy Valley in the past. He was given the perfect setup here by Blake Shin, but I've left him out here, Paul, with top weight.
Yeah, I agree. I think Will Power is a lot better horse on the all-weather, and he keeps going up in the rankings by winning on the all-weather, so I think you'll find it tricky with the weight here.
We move on to the next replay, and the one to focus on here, Paul, is Winning Dreamer. Now, he's got a wide draw of barrier number 11 this week. Is he a horse that has been the victim of his own success? Because he did win his first 5 or 6 in a row, and he's just hit a flat spot since then. He
has, hasn't he? He did have blood in the track here as well when he came out after winning those races in a sequence. Look, they went slightly back here over the 1200, 1400 metres. I think they'll go a little bit forward, but barrier 11 just makes it tricky for him. I have got him in on a very minor line, though, because he is a class horse, and look, he did come from behind his last couple of starts.
Yeah, I've been a big fan of the horse in the past, but just barrier 11 sort of turned me off this time round, and I think he's probably slightly better over the shorter trips of 1200 or 1000, but he was very successful early on, but just hasn't quite gone on with it. A few little issues which obviously are a concern also.
You just saw his stats on the screen there with just one try previously over the 1400 metres. Tom, we go on now to not usual talent. This is a trial up at Chung Fa, and he comes from back in the field to win this trial.
He was near last in this trial at the 400 or so. His last one's come off for 93. He's marked 95 here. Hasn't won for a wee while, this horse, but like the way he was able to come through between runners. Concern is he's never won in the class, and he's just a one-time winner, course and distance, Paul.
Yeah, look, I've included him, though, because I thought it was a really good trial, and I think he's going to get the race run to suit with a lot of pace up front here. So I can see him running on. So, look, I did include him.
That is not usual talent. Paul's been a fan of him right throughout the season. And finally, Paul, we head to Cheerful Days. Now, he's been absolutely flying around Happy Valley. Can he bring that form across to Sha Tin?
Yeah, well, he has won at Sha Tin in the past, and that was over the course and distance. So he has been there and done that. He keeps coming up in grade, obviously. He's jumping up from Class 3 here to this Class 1 extended race. So, look, he's going to have to do it in Class 1. That's the query I had. He's come up short. Look, I haven't included him in there.
I included him. I thought it was a top winner there with the big weight, and also he goes in certainly on a minor line. The way he's been racing, and no concerns with coming back to Sha Tin.
It's a pretty even field, Paul. A few chances here. Who did you end up going with?
I went with Lucky Express. I thought he's going to find this a lot easier than what he's been used to racing pretty recently. He's been up against the big boys, Golden 60, Healthy, Happy, etc. So, look, I think this is the right race for him. Master Montaro, like the fact he's coming back to 1400 metres. I think they'll go back from barrier number 10, and he has run really well from the back as well. Not usual talent, another one that's going to get back. So I've gone with some of these back runners with the pace in the race, and then Winning Dreamer in there for fourth. He's definitely got the class. It's just how he's going to run out the 1400. 2, 7, 6 and 5.
It's a good addition here of the Chinese New Year Cup. 2 Lucky Express, however, on top. Horse that has won 2 of his 17 starts. I'm pleased they've brought him back to these shorter trips. I think he's much better suited at the 14 and the 1200 metres. California Deep Shot, I think, is one of his main dangers, especially off his recent trial. Cheerful Days and Band of Brothers. He's been off the scene for a while with a tendon injury, but I liked his recent trial at Happy Valley, and he has gone well fresh in the past here. He's won off 88. He's marked 91. So 2, 4, 9 and 8.